What is up, guys? Wraith here, Gray Bearded Gaming Society. We are back on Stink, our little troll. Of course, last time we picked up level 5, we got our spiffy new spells. At the moment, we are just outside the edge of our newbie zone. The small island in front of me over here has the Slayer Captain, I believe his name is, running around on it, who... Yeah, I actually still haven't targeted, which is handy. The Slayer Captain. I haven't checked in to see if he'll actually help us with stuff. I honestly don't know. But we have our own buffs. We managed to pick up a case of the Fast Feet from back in town. We have our standard complement of spells. What I did do, just to move things around just a little bit, is I took off our old nuke. And I went with, I have our buffs loaded, just because for now it's easy and we really don't have all that many spells. I have, of course, our Sicken and our Frost Rift, which are too big. Our Big Knock, awesome. Our only DOT and our big nuke. And the reason I did that is in playing around with some of them kind of away from the camera. I mean, you can pull with Burst of Flame and stuff like that, but it's really not going to do hardly any damage. I really want to see kind of what the difference is between these two in terms of efficiency. Because, of course, if I can get it to pop up like I want it to, it's about down here apparently. You know, Frost Rift is 15 mana up front for a decent little nuke, and Sicken, of course, is 30. So it's kind of at this side what's going to, get us the best bang for the buck. I have kind of an idea, and obviously that later when we're root rotting, of course, any of the dots will be way better. But for right now, we'll just have to see which one is better for our mileage. And the other thing that I've done, of course, except taking this one off entirely, I'll pull with one of these spells because I'm tanking on my own. What's the point not worrying about it? I wanted to have gate up. This time we have spells, we have gate, we have an out button. If things go sideways, we will just use that and we will get out of town. So what I'm trying to do here, hopefully I'm not about to be trained. I don't think so. Okie dokie. So we're sneaking right down the wall here because I believe this area here should be kind of around in this range-ish. Should kind of be our new hunting area. We should run into some frog locks through here. I know there's somewhere towards, because I saw him the other day, and the last thing I want to do is mess with him. There's like a really big mushroom guy that runs around out here, and we don't want to mess with him, because I think he's like level 9 or 10. He's quite big. We also have some giant rats out here, which is nice. So we can get experience there, and there we go. Of course, we have some of the bigger frog locks. Now, we'll have to pay attention to the frog locks. Of course, they will socially aggro, but right out of the gate, we're going to zap a rat. We're going to back off. We're going to try to keep everything safe. We're going to fight near the wall here, kind of see how we do. And again, just kind of check the mileage, right? I mean, this guy's got the dot on him. You know, we'll have to kind of keep tabs on our, see what kind of damage we can kind of see off to the side. And again, at the same time, we are kind of little. We don't have a huge mana pool, so medding for us is really not the end of the world. We got a bunch of little guys out there. Froglock fishermen are the ones we have to watch for. So let's compare. Last time we pulled the dot. This time we're going to pull with a blast. So we had a decent chunk of damage on the guy. Looks like we hit him for like 12. I'm pretty sure this one can hit. There we go. So about 2 shots of that about halves his life. And then we go into some melee, and we'll keep tabs, of course, on, some of our mana. So, I mean, I think in the long run, I think we're going to get more total damage out of Sicken in one cast, obviously, but I can see the total use of the blast. I think it's as kind of as we get used to the hit points of what we're messing with out here, I think will be the big difference. Can we hit this guy, or is he getting... All right, he's not going to get the water. So he's even to us. We've got our dot on him. We're backing him off. We're making him chase us down while hopefully ticking away on a little bit of dot damage here. And we'll put a nuke on him to boot. Or not. Now we'll try. Because I'm thinking a fight like this, where the guy's a little bit bigger, I think we should get a lot more benefit from the dot, which lasts longer and will slowly help us kind of piddle away at him. Now, one thing I did do kind of coming out of town, like I said, I did get fast feet. So if things go totally sideways for now, we'll try to run away. Of course, one of the big wins, right, as soon as we can get somewhere around level 9, we'll actually have Spirit of the Wolf on our own, which should give us another kind of built-in safety feature. But it's like, so we're going to say with this guy here, I mean, he is an even con between our decent meleeing skills as a small loaded troll, and then also, like I said, using the dot. I think the dot for the big guys will give us kind of the best mileage, and then the blast will be for the little guys. Now we will have to keep an eyeball on some things, because this is why I'm thinking, or I could just fizzle. Well, I could just fizzle. Yeah, so I'm thinking like on like these smaller kobolds, even if they still con blue, I think using the dot on him is just not going to be worth it for us. That's a fungus man tracker. So we need to, sorry, I get distracted so easily. We do need to be careful up here, because there's that guy, but there's also, like I said, a big fungus that I saw kind of in this neighborhood. So we're going to jump around. We're going to try some different guys out, kind of see how we do. We're going to use the wall kind of as our safety net. We'll retreat back to a wall here and there to get our mana back. We're going to try to sneak basically kind of closer and closer to the outside of Upper Guck, which I think should be a pretty cool stomping ground for this guy. It's been a while. I mean, I've messed around with it a little bit on my non-challenge character, but he didn't come in all the way until he was in the 20s. So I'm thinking some of the smaller stuff towards the front, perhaps. I mean, obviously, I don't think we want to mess around with it till I think we're like 9-ish, 10-ish, I think. I think the guards outside are our range, maybe a little bigger. The guards inside, I think, start to be like 8, 9, maybe 10. And, of course, you can kind of veer off to the side, and there's some alligators and spiders. I think we're going to try to do most of that stuff. But for right now, like I said, I think we're going to... So that guy's right there. We're going to pull him with the dot. Pow. And see how we do. I said I remember these guys when I was fighting them, whenever I'd get the good buffs, especially like a damage shield. You know, they've got a decent amount of hit points. So I'm thinking the dot mileage on these guys should be pretty good. We'll kind of see. Like I said, I'm kind of trying to keep track. And obviously, in Classic, you don't quite get that same tickety tick 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 that just tells you how every single little thing is doing. So we kind of have to guess. But I'm pretty sure, like I said, on some of these bigger guys, our dots will be the way to go. But we're going to sit here. We're going to med up for a few minutes and mess around a little bit more. I'll be back here in just a few minutes, guys. I will check back in. Alright, guys. So we're back after medding up, blasting through a couple of mana bars, and medding up again. But we're making pretty decent progress. You know, trucking through our level here in our new little spot. You know, we've gotten a couple of bubbles. We're about halfway through level 5. And like I said, we've been experimenting a lot, really, like in our new little area, kind of with the efficiency between our two new spells. And basically what I figured out, is not to hit that button in the middle of combat. That just doesn't go well at all. Like, just give him a free crit. Is basically, it's kind of knowing, you know, what we're fighting. So like, and this one's probably going to get pulled by this dude. Yeah, he's going to pull by that dude over there. But like some of the bigger mobs, like the fungus man trackers, I like to use this guy as the opposite example. He's just a standard froglock. When I zap him with this thing, kablow, it does a chunk of damage off its life. So with like the normal froglocks, it is way more efficient to just use like a frost rift, pull them, soften them up, maybe even 2, because sometimes on 2 good hits, you know, we get them down pretty good. Plus again, we melee pretty decently. So like the blast is going to be the way to go on like some of these lower hit point mobs. Now on the froglock fishermen, I've noticed, who are all currently right now, everyone I've seen has been even to me. On the even mobs and on the fungus guys who have quite a bit more hit points than these little dudes do, the dot is the way to go, because it's going to do more damage overall. And yes, it's going to cost more mana at the launch, but the fight's also going to go long enough to make the dot worthwhile. As with these guys, generally I just beat them, slap to death. Same thing like with the giant rats. They're good experience. They're dark blue, but I just beat them to death. There's no point in wasting our good dot mana on these little guys here when we can just kind of chew them up. So I think this will be our new spot here for a while. Because I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to truck my way through my level a little bit more. There's been a pretty good amount of, it's hard to target for some reason. There's, you know, the fungus man trackers are pretty much on par. We have seen a couple of giant water moccasins, but we have not wanted to mess with those guys yet. Everyone that I've seen, either that or it's just the same one coming back to taunt me a second time. They've been yellow to me, and I know that even the smaller ones will dot the bejesus out of me, and I don't want to mess with that. But we've been picking, oh, that's a yellow froglock fisherman. We haven't seen a yellow one yet. And like I said, with those guys, that we definitely want to go with the dot, get the long-term damage. Like I said, it'll do more damage overall, and the fight will last longer. Another thing that I did is I was talking to a shaman in the know. See, now there's 2 froglock fishermen, so I need to be very careful, because handling 2 of these guys at a time will probably get me smushed. I don't want to have the gate button if I can help it. Yeah, let's see. You walk off and leave me with that dude. I'm going to sneak forward and get resisted. Awesome. That is one thing that is, I will say, painful at this level is when I get a resist on the dot. That much pretty much sucks, because that is a pretty good amount of mana for us. But we have enough to cast it again. Like, so these longer fights, it's just more efficient. Do that. Give this guy the HIV and bash him out. What I was going to say, like I said, I was talking to a shaman in the know. And by shaman in the know, I mean I ran across a level 50 in town, and I was kind of asking, kind of for his opinion, you know, up front. I was like, in terms of, you know, gearing a lower level shaman, you know, because of our windfall, like, what should I focus on first? Like, should I try to go get some armor and tank myself up? Obviously, making sure that I always maintain enough, you know, stashed cash early on to make sure I can get my spells and everything. That's the big guy. Let's back off and then make sure we got plenty of mana before we mess with a yellow. And we did lose our fast feet, so we need to be careful there. But his recommendation early on was actually to invest more in the weapon, because what he was saying was, up until the point to where we are really on our way with that. No. That one. Maintain our efficiency. Keeps us going longer. Everyone zap this too. His recommendation was actually to eyeball a weapon first. So we'll kind of keep our eyes open. My thoughts, like I said, on the matter was, I was thinking that if we can get to like level 9 and get some Spirit of the Wolf so we travel a little easy, you know, make sure we pad our level, make the trip a little safer, is maybe we get to level 9, we make sure we secure our spells, we take a trip over to the tunnel with whatever plat we've been able to stash, and just kind of shop around, see what little things we can do to help ourselves out a little bit as we go. Like I said, I'm not in a super duper hurry to get there. We've been doing pretty good with what we've got, and again, we've been kind of camping our windfall. But what I did do is I found this on a merchant. Well, it's just standard spear, so probably not even quite as cool as, like, say, a fine steel or something. But it was relatively cheap, considering 6 damage, 29 delay, so it's more damage than the one that I had, and it's way faster, and it's been serving us pretty well. I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of other things out there we can kind of eyeball, and we'll, you know, like I said, we'll stop and we'll do some homework. We've picked up most of the leather and filled it in with tattered, you know, things like that. I'm hoping that, you know, once we get into Guck, maybe there's a few little spots we can get into. But like I said, I think, looking, like I said, probably around towards a level 9-ish when we can make the trip on our own quite safely. You know, we'll pick up all of our spells, we'll head over maybe to the tunnel, see, you know, can we pick up a couple pieces of chainmail to beef up the armor, and see what we have in the kind of weapon category. So far, I kind of like the spears, but it'll be eyeballing, you know, what can we do with the cash that we have, you know, what'll be the most efficient. But I think I've rambled enough for tonight. Like I said, we've made really good progress. We're about halfway through the level. I'm going to sit here, like I said, in this spot. Guck is right over the hill right here, by the way. I ran all the way to it kind of off camera. I say right over the hill. It's over a couple hills. There's, you know, quite a few more froglocks right there in that area, but there was also quite a few more players in that area. So I was trying to leave. Oh, look at that. They actually left, and now there's the guards up. This guy doesn't seem to, and I can't target anything for some reason. There we go. Maybe. Apparently not. Anyway, but we want to make sure we don't get swarmed. There was a group over here earlier, so I was trying to make sure I didn't get too close to this, guys. You know, we need to be careful around Guck, because it will be really easy to get ads, but it should be, you know, once we get probably another level, a really good spot to stage out of. We can pick off hopefully those guards and do a little bit better with the strays. But as I keep rambling on, even though I said I was done rambling, I think it'll be a pretty good spot to call it. I think we've got some ideas on where we want to go, what we want to do. Like I said, this area, I think would be a nice, good area of service for a while. We pull out, we pull back to the wall, you know, decently safe. We med back up, and then we go out and do it again. Plus, we can keep kind of a safe distance from some of the stuff out here. We just, again, need to pay attention, because this guy, yeah, he's going. Keep an eye out for the big guys, retreat when we need to, and hit the gate button if we got it, and I think we'll be safe. So until next time, guys, kind of ran off at the mouth a lot this time, so we've been doing some fighting, doing some whatever. I think a lot of the key for us will be efficiencies for a little while to keep us moving faster. I think we've kind of got that figured out based on our new spells. We should be in a good spot there. As always, guys, if you like what we're doing, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you're running the challenge yourself, hey, check in. Let us know how your challenge is going. What kind of character do you have? How many lives do you have left so far on Chapter 2 with Stink? We are still at a full 9 life total. We've had pretty good windfall open up, so I think we got a pretty strong opening. We're going to have to rebuff after this guy, so this will be a long one. But, as always, guys, again, let us know down below. We're going to form our little community slowly but surely. Keep it safe. Now is the best time to sit home and play some EverQuest at the house. Be following doctor's orders, just like we talked about before. I hope everybody has a great night, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.